They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
We have such sights to show you.
Who's laughing now?
I get crazy. I'll kill you all. I'm the nightmare you ever had. I am your worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever were afraid of.
They're here.
Alrighty, they are here.
We are here together.
In one spot. It's crazy. It's insane.
I'm so excited. Can't tell you how excited I am.
Good. Cheers
this is so cheers. Cheers.
Well fermented stuffs. Pretty good.
This is the Flying Embers hard kombucha.
Very nice, very nice. Ooh, let me get these comments going too.
It's pretty good.
No, I keep losing the mouse. There we go.
0 carbs, 0 sugar. The calories are a little high. More than like a White Claw.
You know what? I'm okay with that.
Yeah, not bad.
I'm not complaining. Not bad at all. Steven, how you doing?
Hi, Steven.
What do you call it? I hope you guys are ready to talk something that, hey, Tim, how you doing? That Lauren knows more about than I do. But I do have a couple of little tidbits here and there to pitch in.
Cool.
So it's going to be good. It'll be stuff that you would not suspect. I didn't think about it. I didn't think it was real until I saw and learned from various podcasts and anecdotes and Dave Chappelle. And that's where that's where all my facts come from, is those sources. Joe Rogan once in a while. But that's more about like
he likes DMT.
He likes
and mushrooms and working out.
And elk. Elk meat.
Yeah, elk meat.
Anyway.
Carnivore diets.
It's like, I like meat too, but you know what? Eat a fucking vegetable once in a while. It's okay. I really like broccoli, okay? I'm sorry. It's crime. It's crime to like broccoli.
Fucking shoot me. Don't.
But yeah, today we are talking a different kind of green. It is Reefer Madness.
Reefer Madness.
Not just the craze that went over the country, but a pretty hilarious movie that, oh my God.
Now, I will admit that I did not get through the whole thing. Hi, Gregory. I did not get through the whole film. But we can pull up maybe a couple of clips or something.
Yeah, we can show
just
you
like
those,
the goofiest parts.
How ridiculous it is. Oh my goodness. Like there was quite a few movies like that. This is the start of exploitation.
Right.
Is when they started doing this kind of stuff. Or at least it was a very good chapter of exploitation grindhouse films where it was, I wouldn't say cheaply made, but it doesn't look like they put a whole lot of effort into it. And it was just sensational enough that'll get your ass to sit in a movie theater.
Yeah.
For 70 minutes, I guess. They weren't that long of movies, really. Same with today. We have clickbait, where you see an article that says, Tom Cruise fell out of a plane. Well, he's doing a stunt for a new movie, so that's not really, but you can actually click on the article. So they already won. The exact same plot as these kind of movies. So unbelievably fun.
Like Will Smith did what at the Oscars?
And like I don't care anymore. Like, is he gonna make Wild West 2 or not? Because I'm getting really tired of waiting. I'm getting tired.
Well, but is he gonna make a part 2 of that song?
I loved the movie. I thought it was fun. Whatever.
No, I liked the movie. I did. I remember like the big old mechanical thing.
Giant ass metal spider. Yeah, it was a spider. Yeah. Oh my god. So where are we gonna start with this? So where should we start?
Well, I want to kind of talk about the laws surrounding weed. First of all, kind of where it came from, because I didn't know.
Okay, yeah, let's go to that.
It actually was found in like Southeast Asia is when it was first supposedly grown, and mostly in China.
That makes sense.
It makes sense. China always has the best fucking herbs and shit.
You go to China or you go to the rainforest and you're gonna get cool shit that
Yeah.
grows naturally, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah, pretty dope. So hemp is basically the pot plant, but just like the stems. So you don't get like any high off of hemp. So it's made to make like ropes. And the military used it in the 1600s, even in West Virginia, actually. It was mandatory that everybody has a crop of hemp growing because the military needed it. And it was also good for trading and like making clothes and stuff.
That helps.
And they built like ship sails with it. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Aaron, how you doing? Yeah,
Hi, Aaron.
the difference between hemp and cannabis was established actually not too long ago. It was like the 50s, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference is hemp can only have up to 0.03% by some number, by microns or something, of THC allowed in it. And the guy who did the study for the government admitted to just picking a random number.
Wow.
Like, it's not even like there's not an actual scientific reason behind why that's as much as you can allow for hemp to have. It's just what they decided because the government is the government.
Just made it up.
Well, yeah, it makes sense that you would use it for textiles. It grows really fast.
Yeah.
It's strong.
It doesn't need as much water.
Yeah, it's very nice to not have to worry about a tree that's going to take years to grow.
Oh, yeah.
Versus a crop you can turn over like what, 2-3 times a year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grows really fast. And it's also said to have a lot of health benefits as well. Like it was used in medicine, like way back in like ancient times, they were using it. They found like an altar or something in Israel, and it had like I don't know. It was almost like a hash.
Oh, okay.
Like they found it like on a dig somewhere.
Yeah. Speaking
of
ancient times, back in the 80s, the ancient times, my grandfather.
I was born in 88. You shut your mouth. I am not ancient.
Well, it feels like it was forever ago, but no, it wasn't that long ago. But my grandparents would actually use some that they found growing in the barranca. They just found some leaves, and they would take that, soak it in alcohol.
Oh.
Just put it on sore spots on the body. So it just allows everything to absorb in there easily. And alcohol itself helps with that too. Wow. And then just whatever chemicals that happen to be there. And it's a natural remedy that gets carried on because that was obviously done before them by other family members. Mm-hmm. Like probably my great grandma was doing that too, which she's still around. She's outlived like all my other relatives.
That's so crazy.
She's in Mexico now, by the way. So if grandma sees this, or great grandma, keep using those weed leaves because I believe in you. Okay, I mean, it basically pickled her. Like she turned herself into a human pickle.
Maybe that might work for me. I don't know.
About Cheros. It has many names. They roll the plant up in their hand and make a potent resin ball. I like where your head's at there. I mean, there's a lot of plants that we get told with these stigmatas, like from tobacco itself. But there are some things that nicotine actually helps you with. It actually helps you focus. It was like the original version of that gum that you chew and you're supposed to be able to focus forever. Or those energy drinks that say like Focus 8 on the side. People would use nicotine. Oh, wow. Same with cocaine leaves.
Oh,
cocaine leaves, when you just boil it, has about the same effect as just regular coffee. It's really not strong, and there's a chance to get addicted to it. Obviously, the same as with coffee, with caffeine itself. But it's a lot higher for both those products, for tobacco or for coca leaves, than you would find for marijuana leaves. That's cool. The addictive purposes. And that kind of ends the benefits of those two versus they're still doing weed studies where like, okay, well, it helps with this, helps with inflammation, and it kind of keeps adding to the list, which is why you can see stuff all the way back. Zebra gum, oh my gosh. No, I don't even know the names of that shit, honestly. It doesn't work. It never helped me anyways. But that's why there's so many studies being done still, because it actually does help with stuff.
Okay.
Versus so many other things that don't do shit. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like all these synthetic pills that they want to push on you.
Because they make more money that way. It's more expensive to make
crazy.
them.
Yeah. Crazy.
I don't like it.
Well, in 1850, pot was actually federally approved for medicine, and it was distributed. I don't know if you want to pull up like the old-timey little cannabis, like bottles and stuff.
Oh, I can find one of those. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've seen these too. Just like these old-timey little bottles where they used to like have like liquid cocaine and like what was that other shit that they used? There's a lot of different medicines they had in these little bottles.
Like what's his name's joke? Laudanum.
Yes.
Laudanum.
Laudanum salt. Laudanum salt.
Help me out here with the old timey stuff.
Oh no.
Oh, it's all newer stuff. But there's a smiling little child, so that's a good sign. I mean, it's in the right direction. Okay, so I'm not seeing any old timey ones, but it is a thing. It definitely did happen. The same with like a very old form of methamphetamine that they would subscribe for pain. And it's like, well, you don't care about your pain anymore, I guess. Hey, Richard, how you doing? Again,
hi, Richard.
I talked to Richard earlier today. Thank you so much.
Oh, nice.
I know this sounds silly, but the marijuana eventually gains so much friction it becomes a bunch of strong cannabinoids in this sharobe. There's a documentary on Netflix for a freaking moment I just really want to try. You know what? If you do, you just got to let us know how it goes. I think that's it's the most important thing.
Yeah, for sure. Let us know.
Gary, checking in from North Las Vegas. Brother, if you hear about anybody hiring out there, let me know because I would love to move to Vegas.
You've been saying that forever.
Forever. So yeah, you let me know. But as much as weed does help with other stuff, I hear it's also very fun. People tell me that all the time.
Yeah, it is fun. It depends on how you do it, though, sometimes. Well, for certain people. Like, my tolerance for edibles is, like, at 0. I cannot do edibles because I get really paranoid and I get, like, a body high that, like, is too intense for me. And I can't handle it.
Didn't you want me to eat some edibles when we were in Vegas last time? Try to kill me? Try to lose Miguel?
Hey, your tolerance is different than mine.
It absolutely would be. But I have never had weed before in my life.
Yeah.
I have never smoked it. I was gonna when we went to Vegas for my birthday or to Texas, like, oh, this is gonna be the time. But now I'm gonna wait another year, and that'll be like a celebration because there's literally yourself included in this, like 7 to 8 other people. Like, I want to get you high for the first time. And I'm like,
oh yeah,
I'm gonna collect all of you together.
I'm surprised Joe didn't get you.
No, nobody has. It's just not my thing, and I have nothing against it. I just have other stuff I like. I like being really drunk. Sometimes. That's what I like. But you know who didn't like weed at all? David Bowie.
Really?
David Bowie was not a weed guy. He was an uppers, and he was a very because he's always working. He let an album out a year for like 15 years in a row. And this was like, there's no digital during all that.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Like that's literally all you're doing.
Yeah, that's all he would do.
Because you had to, oh, wow, that's crazy. You literally had to do, like, obviously there was some like electrical stuff, but you literally had to do everything piece by piece. Like, wow, that's crazy.
Remember the edibles at Fright? You know what, funnily enough, I do not remember that. It was, oh shit. Add bucket list, get Miguel high. Charlie, that's gonna. Don't worry, I'm gonna gather everybody together. There's a good group now. It's at least 10 people now. They all like, oh, you have to try it. I'm like, oh, fine. You're all gonna have to be in the same room then, so I can just prove if I did it.
You can't mix other stuff with it though, just so you can get the full effect. Like
Fair.
no alcohol. Maybe do a cigar later after you feel it, like not before, because I don't know. It could change how it makes you feel.
That sounds fair. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call it? Reminds me of Miguel at BrewCon when he was hammered. I got a little drunk, but that was Rebecca's fault. She was trying to get me drunk, trying to take advantage of me. And she'll corroborate the story and tell me that I'm lying. But
that's so funny.
Whatever. Willie Nelson recently quit smoking weed. Really?
Weird.
I don't remember. I didn't hear about that at all.
I didn't hear about that. Do you remember when Snoop Dogg tried to quit those millions of times? I gotta quit.
He's gonna die if he quits. I don't think that's a good idea. Ooh.
Dude, it's like infused into his blood now.
I think he's half weed.
I think so too. I think he's half a nug.
Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with that. He seems to be functioning, kind of.
He's doing all right. I mean, he's a freaking bajillionaire. He's good.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
And he hangs out with Martha Stewart.
It's such a weird combo still.
I know. So I think he likes her because she didn't snitch.
It's pretty cool of her. She's good people, you know. Oh, tax evasion, whatever. Give her a break.
It's fucking, who cares?
Yeah.
Rich people stealing from other rich people. What the fuck? Oh, they do that shit all the time.
Terrible. All right, what do we got next? Where are we at?
Okay. So in 1884, there was a man who was documented to have gone into the hospital high, and he couldn't feel his face. And he was saying he came in, he was so high, he was saying that his face was gone because he couldn't feel it, and he couldn't feel anything. And so, yeah, a couple more years of that happening kind of like around the country. You know, people just getting way too high. In the 1900s, they wanted more regulation on this stuff because of these claims that these people were making. And oh my God, that reminds me of the phone call that the cop made to 911 because he and his wife ate edibles.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He's like, I'm dying.
Wait, was he a cop?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I thought it was some idiot kid.
No, he was a police officer.
That's so much worse for him. Oh, you idiot. Oh.
Yeah, but him and his wife ate brownies, and yeah, so they got fucked up. And that shit happens if you have to see, that's edibles. I guarantee this guy in 1884 just had a little bit, too many gummies.
Poor bastard.
Yeah.
His face fell off.
His face just disappeared.
Richard, this year there was no random drug test on 421. Oh my gosh.
Nice.
At least, yeah, progress. I ended up apologizing for a few hours on my dopery. And that's from some edibles on occasion. Oh goodness,
yeah. Oh my God. I remember a couple of years ago, when Bird Box first came out.
Oh yeah.
So my mother-in-law makes cookies, and she always tells me half of a half, and I got cocky and I ate half, and I was like white knuckling through this fucking movie. Like, it wasn't even that scary. And so I just I needed some form of like normalcy. So I turned over to Joey and I was like, this movie's pretty goofy. Like, this movie's pretty weird. And he started laughing. He's like, yeah. So that kind of brought me down. But then I threw up.
Oh, good. Yeah. Oh my God. I wonder if
much.
I wonder if you pour it on your fog machine and have that in your session, if that works. You know what?
I
don't
know.
I have no idea.
But you can get a gas mask from like a smoke shop.
What do you call it? You can be in a room with some people smoking spices. That was gross. Oh, we went to Vegas when I was like 18, and we went there with some friends, and they were getting that synthetic weed from. Oh God, it smelled so horrible.
Dude, it makes you sick too.
It's going to ruin your lungs.
Yeah, it's not real.
My worst fear is vomiting from weed. I've never done it. Oh, good. Well, at least if it hasn't happened, I'm gonna say it's never gonna happen. I'm gonna knock on table. Wait, yeah.
The chair you're sitting in is made of wood.
I can't look behind me all the time. Come on now. Oh my goodness.
I was saying in the 1900s, because of all of these, that was like 20 more years of this shit happening, and they finally said no more. We need a Pure Food and Drug Act, which basically made cannabis a poison because of all of these like crazy claims. But yeah, it has more benefits than it does,
No, yeah. The upside is pretty dang high to be so dismissive of it.
Yeah.
And, I think because around that same time, I think bourbon might have a problem, or it might have caused a problem for them.
Mixing the weed and the alcohol.
Well, not just that, but the regulation part. That's when the bourbon industry wanted regulation because people were faking the alcohol.
Yeah, and poisoning people.
And poisoning
I
people.
remember. Yeah, I remember reading about that. They were poisoning people.
It was master distillers who went to the government like, "Hey, can you give us some kind of stamp? We'll pay you to look at our stuff. Give you stuff to test, but we need a seal of approval we can put in stores." So they buy ours, they're gonna be fine, and they can't ruin our name by just throwing a fake label on it anymore.
Right.
They have to have government backing in order. And I'm assuming because that's what the government does, they go from one step and they take 5 more steps they shouldn't have taken, and it falls right into category with weed, with cocaine, with all of it.
It's so crazy that weed is a Schedule 1. Still,
sense.
It's a plant.
It makes no sense.
And there's not one case of anybody ever overdosing on weed and dying.
To this day, yeah.
Yeah. The tests, those poor fucking chimpanzees that they murdered, basically just to prove that weed is bad for you. Yeah. Oh my God. Do you know all of the details about that? Because I remember that they were testing chimpanzees, but they lied about the test because they were not letting, they were like, it was almost like a gas chamber, basically, that they put them in.
And that was supposed to
with weed, and that will kill you.
Of course, you don't have any oxygen.
Yeah, so basically, like, they gassed out these little monkeys, so sad, and they just murdered them to try to make weed illegal.
But did they not panic at all then? Or were they like really mellowed out about it? Or like even more stressed out?
I don't know.
Like from what I hear, a lot of people also get anxiety.
Some people do. See, yeah, like with the edibles, I get paranoid and I get like
that would be terrible.
Heart palpitations. It's really crazy.
God made the green, man made alcohol. Trust in God. I actually, alcohol has been a staple for as soon as human beings develop a little bit, we make alcohol. That's just a common thing. Because before alcohol, there was no type of cleaning your liquids. Like no one knew to boil water. People would get sick and die from water. Mm-hmm. But then all of a sudden they had this fermented drink and you could add a little bit to your water and all of a sudden it doesn't make you as sick. Mm-hmm. And you can just drink this other here too. It makes you feel pretty good. And, you don't care about, the animal escaping your hunt or, someone else getting the lady in the village. It just, you enjoyed life a little better. So I fully believe alcohol is a necessity for humanity to advance. Same with coffee. That's a whole other episode I could do because coffee's also got a really dark past.
Yeah, let's do it. Because I am a coffee junkie.
Love coffee. But
love coffee.
There's a book called The Coffee Crusade. And kind of fits in here because there's a lot of, once government regulates stuff, there's then the criminal aspect.
Yeah. A lot of these stories overlap because these things were like placed into the same kind of categories.
100% happens.
Yeah.
Plus stoner movies are funny. Absolutely funny. Hilarious. Mr. B from the top needs so that person won't be confused all the time. Mr. B.
From the top?
From the top?
What is the top? Oh, Mr. B from the top. Please explain.
Gary, you got me on that one.
I'm confused right now.
I know you'll explain to us. You'll let us know.
Yes.
But carrying on to the regulation though, in the 90s, right? The 1990s?
1900s.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so they put this regulation on it, but it wasn't really like nobody was getting arrested or anything for it yet. It was just like, hey, like you said, the labels and everything. People need to know that it's labeled as a poison and, all that stuff. So then 1910, the Mexican Revolution happens.
Hooray.
And then the immigrants came into the U.S. and they didn't have any issues with weed. So they brought their weed with them. When the Mexican Revolution happened, a lot of immigrants came because of, the fighting and all that shit. And then, a lot of evil people trying to rule over Mexico. The norm, the usual.
Mexico's still doing that right now.
Yeah. So because of this, basically crimes were being blamed on Mexicans that smoked weed. Like all the crimes are happening because these damn Mexicans are moving. Take the stealing our jobs. They took our jobs.
Unfortunately, that's 100% true. Yeah. Mexicans on weed will steal your job and rob you at the same time. I've seen it firsthand. I was, there's a little small neighborhood in Ventura called the Camp, and at least once a day there'd be a young Mexican boy on. He would light up a weed, and he would steal 4 cars at once and take somebody's job right then and there. No diploma, no nothing. He just got the job. It's crazy.
He's just a boy.
It was just 13-year-old boys just stealing jobs and cars at the same time, and grew up to be Oscar de la Hoya. So you tell me what's bad. No,
oh my God.
That was all lies. All of that except for the actual little city. And makes black people grow into turn gay. Yeah, all these ridiculousness.
Turning the frogs gay.
Oh my God. Actually, not to defend what's his name too much.
Alex Jones.
Oh my God. There was a plant that was dumping chemicals into this one lake, and it was sterilizing all the frogs.
But not making them gay. They were just sterilizing.
What do you call it? So I don't think they were like turning to homosexuality because they couldn't have babies anymore. I think it was just
they weren't walking runways like voguing and shit.
No, they weren't throwing elaborate kiddie parties or anything. No, it wasn't like that. It was just he was technically the chemicals were doing something to the frogs. It's like I can't live in a world where he is kind of right. It hurts.
He's been right about a few things too, and it's fucking weird.
I don't care for that.
Yeah. I do. He's too crazy.
Call it him and a lot of the people he works with just a little too far for me.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, Americans started blaming Mexicans for everything, bringing their dirty weed to our country and all this shit. Like America does. America hates everyone. They don't like anybody coming into their country.
I think we get that
they stole.
What do you call it? I think we get that from Britain though.
That is
because even right now they hate like anybody who comes over. Like,
that is true.
They just no travel, no thank you. Charlie says, "I might steal people's Doritos when I'm stoned. Damn that weed for making me a Mexican criminal." Poor guy. You can't help it. You have no control over it as soon as it happens.
Too
Those
much.
damn PSAs.
The word marijuana, I found out, is not actually a real word. It's speculated, I guess, that it's taken from a code for like going to a brothel, which is Mari Iguana, which they're female names.
Yeah.
Mari Iguana.
Oh, so you're getting 2 ladies for the price of 1 blunt? I don't know.
I guess. I don't know.
You call it.
But yeah, so basically people are just being racist because they associate the Mexicans coming into the country with weed, and weed is bad because the Mexicans smoke it.
Makes no sense. I mean, everyone liked it.
Yeah, everyone liked it before.
It hurts my head to think about like some of these logic points, and then it hurts my head more to think at the time they believed it because they had no other thing to think about.
Oh, also because William Hearst,
motherfucker,
he decided that he was going to put in his paper. Okay, so William Hearst wanted Mexico. He basically thought that the U.S. should be in charge of Mexico. And he thought that, America could run it better. And he was just really fucking racist. He hated Mexicans. And he decided that he was going to put in his newspapers, like all these kinds of crazy, like outlandish stories about these Mexicans and how they're murdering and raping women high on weed. And so turns out he wanted timber. I think he wanted trees and shit from Mexico.
Oh yeah, no,
to make the paper for his newspaper. And the banker that he worked with was also invested in paper.
Of course.
Andrew Mellon, which they're still one of the richest families in America.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He was also in business, and he invested in DuPont, which they poisoned water in West Virginia. But guess what? They also make paper.
So it's okay.
Yeah, so they're all in cahoots trying to make this paper. And because hemp can be turned into paper,
we gotta stop that shit.
they're like, we got to make the money. We got to stop this shit. We can't let them do this. Also, nylons was like a new product that DuPont was making because they're a chemical plant. So they make things out of like synthetic chemicals. And instead of using like hemp, they used nylon to make like stockings.
Yeah.
And so they were trying to put the other guys out of business. So Andrew Mellon decides, he's going to get elected to Secretary of Treasury. So he can hire this guy named Harry something. I forgot his name. Harry something. Fuck. And make him the director of narcotics in 1930. They created a branch called the Federal Bureau of Narcotics. A banker.
Of all people.
A banker turned politician. Yeah.
That's so fucked. Because that's
it is. Mm-hmm.
I got two things to go off of that right there.
Okay.
First, I'll go with DuPont first. DuPont has been making chemicals for the U.S. and across the world forever. Mm-hmm. And Coca-Cola, as we all know, started with coca leaves. There wasn't cocaine in it. It was made with coca leaves. And the sugars they got out of there gave Coca-Cola the flavor.
Right.
And when they were told they could no longer bring it in, they went to DuPont, like, hey, can you give us a chemical that we could replace the coca leaves with? And they're like, no, we need coca leaves. And they made a deal with the government that Coca-Cola, to this day, is the only person allowed to import cocaine leaves to the U.S. legally. They are allowed to bring in cocaine leaves.
And they're the only ones allowed.
The only ones allowed.
Wow. Follow the money. You just got to follow the money.
Oh, yeah, because he had a shit ton of it. And then they were able to just...
And William Hearst, one of the fucking richest dudes.
Easily.
Yeah.
I mean, not only that, though, but talking about bankers turning into, all of a sudden, criminal investigators, which makes no fucking sense. Yeah,
no, this branch of government is actually attached to the Treasury.
Which makes no fucking
sense.
Still
to this day, it doesn't make sense.
Well, the same people who are basically the same families are also the starting of the OSS for the USA, which is World War I, World War II spy service, which was leading into the CIA. It was just a bunch of rich kids who knew each other, so they had each other's back, who, they had some intelligence about them. They went to college, they learned shit, but they got those jobs because their families were rich enough to get put into those jobs.
Right. It's the same thing with fucking Ariana Grande. She didn't start from fucking YouTube. Her mom's a CEO of a company. Her dad's really fucking rich. She went to fucking rich ass fucking schools. And so she didn't have to work. So her parents could pay for her to have singing lessons and all this kind of stuff. So she already had her foot in the door. She already had those opportunities.
Yeah.
So
and I'm sure she had to do stuff over at Nickelodeon. So Nickelodeon's
I'm
terrible.
sure she had to let some old guy suck on her toes.
One in particular, which I can't remember his name right now. That's a whole fucking
Dan
episode.
Something.
Yeah. Oh, not Dan Carlin. Oh god, no.
No.
Oh my god.
Dan
Schneider.
That sounds familiar.
Schneider.
Yeah. Why did he have those kids with their feet in frame like every couple of episodes?
Dude, it wasn't just that. He did a house where he did outreach and development for new talent.
Oh no.
And he would ask to see feet. Ugh. And like parents knew this.
Ugh.
This is a tangent because it's a whole other episode that needs to be told. Like Nickelodeon, as much as I love the Rugrats.
I know.
So horrible.
I know.
I knew the word toe was gonna come out. It's just dipping a toe into that subject because it's disgusting. And I feel bad for Elijah Wood. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah. Oh my god. I'm surprised he's not a drug addict.
I'm very happy he's not.
Yeah.
And that he's still working in movies, but they've found a way to do it themselves and not in a shitty industry, which is just a lot of horrible people in there.
Yeah,
there's good people too, but there's way too many bad ones.
Yeah. Crazy.
Thank you, Charlie. Yeah, it is Dan Schneider. Schneider is a horrible, horrible person. Oh, that's a whole other story. Let's get back to weed, something cleaner than that.
So, I don't have a whole lot of information after this, but in 1944, the New York Academy of Medicine even came out and admitted that weed was fine. It does not induce violence. It does not induce people wanting to do crimes. it doesn't matter.
Well, there was a time during the hippie movement. It was a good 6 years. It was all it was. Like the hippie movement was very quick and short, and a lot of weed, a lot of LSD.
Yeah.
And they wanted to blame drugs and alcohol and free love for a lot of violence that was happening. Because that period and the period right after that was one of the most violent the U.S. ever known.
Civil rights shit.
Yeah, except for other than Civil War, where we're literally killing each other in droves. That was the most dangerous time to be alive in the U.S.
Yeah, but it wasn't the drugs. It was the fucking racist people running the government.
It wasn't even them. It was literally the lead in our gas. There was lead in everything, and everyone was lead poisoned. Which
that
fully
explains.
makes you violent.
Yeah, and that explains also why there might be so many fucking serial killers.
Especially
in the 70s.
Yeah, during that time period. Because even if they were just bad people to begin with, there's a lot of bad people who aren't going to go around killing.
Yeah,
but
pretty sure the gas.
Yeah, once you're poisoned and your mind is, destroyed, and a lot of them had head injuries, a lot of them abusive families.
Yeah.
You add in that one other factor, and all of a sudden, you killed 50 people.
That's crazy.
But that just goes to prove, though, the same time, the CIA during the Cold War was trying to find a way to make money to fund all these little coups around the world. And weed wasn't enough for them because they had to go to selling crack. Because it wasn't addictive enough. Crack is. So they started slowly disseminating that into populations they didn't care about.
Yeah, like the black community.
Yeah, poor communities, black communities, inner city places where even if they got caught, no one's going to notice. No one's going to care, which is really shitty. But weed wasn't good enough for that situation because they needed something that actually was dangerous and addictive.
Yeah.
And that was really cheap. That's the one.
So fucking crazy how disgusting people treat each other.
It's
just because they have money. They're sociopaths.
When all you had to do is ask the general public during that time to give you money to go invade other countries. We would have done it. Everyone would have had $5.
If you just hype up the right people.
And we're going to fucking pay for it. You didn't have to do any of that. You didn't have to experiment on U.S. citizens.
Yeah. Just what Dan Cummins said. I'd like an itemized receipt. Where's my receipt? Just give us a receipt and we'll send you the fucking money.
Yep. It's very simple. Yeah. You get a receipt for sugar-free Red Bull and pepperoni sticks. But not for what my tax are to.
Oh, no.
Sure, there we go.
Hi, guys.
Hey, guys. I don't know if we're still there or not, but the thing got turned off. So I'm on my phone right now.
Yeah, my freaking computer unplugged because it got stuck.
Damn computers. Damn technology. Or the government just knew we were getting close to the truth. And Dan Schneider actually came over and unplugged it himself. Stared at Lauren's feet. And then oh, fuck. Oh. See what we did. Yeah, we actually stoned the computer. Yes, that's what happened. No. All right, guys. Yeah, I think we're going to wrap it for right now. But just wanted to say goodbye. Joey, can you hear? Okay, good. Hear us. Okay, good. You can still see us on YouTube. That's so weird. Oh, my God.
Okay, well, hi.
We'll hop back in. I'm gonna turn this one off.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, I don't.
Oh,
well, we're still on. Fuck it. Okay.
That's really cool.
That's perfect.
Well, we were saying, I don't even remember what we were saying at this point.
So that was very unexpected.
I got put this in another outlet.
Yeah, we can do like a little, what do you call on the bottom?
Yeah.
Run it around
Yeah,
like
I
a little
shouldn't
tape
have that
job.
right there. Oops.
I've done the same thing.
Mr. Electrician, come home and fix it, please.
I miss you. What's that creepy guy on Beer Fest? Remember the fucking clown with the I think he had a dildo attached to him for some reason.
Oh my god, I don't remember that.
It's Germany. It's just Germany.
Germans. Oh, okay. So in 1956, they decided that the government decided that, hey, we are going to implement mandatory sentences for people caught with like a half a joint of the marijuanas.
It's a very bad idea.
Yeah, they get 2 to 10 years, depending on.
Even fucking worse idea.
Yeah. But guess when it stopped? When all the rich white college kids started getting popped for having it. Yeah, that's when people started caring. Like,
what are the odds?
I know. Black and brown people just went straight to jail. And even by the time it was legalized in a lot of states, like, people are still incarcerated for having
It blows my mind
weed.
how you can be in trouble for a law that's no longer a law.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Even if I was 1,000% against weed somehow, like if I it is the devil's lettuce. But if it's not an actual law, how are you having someone locked up for it? Like, the sentence automatically should be expunged. They're done.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and we should probably give them some money to get on their feet because
something. God, that's not
they
even
got
enough.
fucked. They got screwed.
There's
Families broken apart for years because of weed.
which makes no fucking sense.
But yeah, it became popular with the 60s and 70s and shit.
Like counterculture pushed that stuff.
When all the little white kids were getting locked up.
Well, the funny thing is, the CIA was very much against the whole counterculture stuff, and they were experimenting with LSD on school campuses.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how these kids found, like, oh, this stuff is pretty trippy. Let's get that. The CIA was responsible for creating the stuff they didn't like. They fucked themselves, and they never found out how to control people's minds. Weed wrecks vending machines. Pretty funny. Have you ever seen Arrested for Pot call 1800 such and such? I don't think I have. Have you ever been arrested for pot? No, I get you. One of those class action lawsuits.
Excuse me.
That would be fucking perfect.
Dude.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of should be, though, at that point.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Like, come on, especially in California. Like, I know that the government wants cheap labor by enslaving people in the prison system, and we'll talk about that on another fucking episode.
That's like 2-4 hours of talking.
Oh my god. We might have to do a part 1 and 2 on the prison system.
Yeah. One real quick tidbit on that. Private prisons are my least, like, the first thing that needs to go.
Oh, absolutely. Private prisons, why?
Because
basically they own slaves.
What's going on too is that illegal immigrants are getting sent to these ones and not being sent back and deported. They're being forced to stay in these prisons because there's not an actual sentencing. It's just a lockup situation, a detained situation.
Yeah.
And then they cause one infraction in there, and it just adds and adds and multiplies. It's forced slavery.
Yeah.
And
it's legal.
It's fucking insane. And they're making money off of doing that, which also makes no sense to me.
Yeah, they're working in prisons. Like, you can have a job in a prison.
Well, I guess a job, makes, if you're getting paid, like, they put the money in.
Yeah, a few cents an hour. But I'm also those where they make them go out and do, like, the community service stuff or, like, the chain gang shit.
Yeah. If it was actually, like, to get time off, or you're putting money aside, like let's say, even if you pay them half of what you pay a regular worker, you put that half aside for them when it's done because they've actually done the work.
Right.
Like, why are they getting nothing for that? Prison's not supposed to be a place you go to go work. It's supposed to be a place where you're being detained because you did a crime.
Right.
That's not rehabilitation. That's just forced labor.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah. Oh my god, we can go on for hours about this shit. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. And people that need to be locked up for stuff like hitting someone, like beating their girlfriend, they only get like a slap on the wrist. Or like that kid, that fucking Brock Turner fucker, literally raped a girl. Someone caught him, and he got like 6 months.
How the fuck did he get away with that?
Yeah,
like, it makes no sense.
Yeah. Okay, I better stop talking about this shit because I'm getting mad.
He gonna upset me, that bastard. But it's true though. The law does not fit. The punishment doesn't fit the crime.
Right.
Even when they thought it was like as horrible as it was, it made no sense comparatively speaking to who would be a good example. I don't know. O.J. Simpson getting away with double murder.
Even if he didn't do it, he knew who did it, and he was covering for him, and he should get in trouble for that.
I think he did do it. Like I 100% believe that. But if it wasn't him, he knows something.
There's a theory that it was his son.
His son?
Because his son had been fighting with them a lot. Oof. And that's why he took the cops on a chase to like distract them so his son could get away. All the shit. I'll talk about that later.
If your son did do it and like you kind of like, I don't care about the water if you're soaked anyways. You kind of take the rap for your son. You're OJ Simpson. You're gonna be fine in prison.
Yeah.
Speaking of someone who's fine in prison,
I've seen videos of him on Twitter. Hey, Twitter world.
It upsets me so much because I got to meet him in Vegas at a cigar lounge.
Really?
And people still go up to him and take selfies and shit.
I would never.
Nothing happened.
I would never. I'm a white girl.
You're
no way.
he can still do this. He's still lethal.
Dude.
But yeah, there's a video of Mike Tyson punching a dude out on a plane.
Oh my god.
That dude needed to get punched in the face a lot. He was annoying as fuck. I hope Mike Tyson gets away with it because that guy was asking for it.
Ew.
He was, oh my god, you gotta watch the video.
Okay.
Oh, you call it I think Richard or Charlie asked earlier if we think that we would be illegal or be legalized just across the board. I think they're still working on it.
Yeah, they are. I know at least in California right now, they're trying to basically like get rid of weed for like drug testing and stuff.
Yeah, may as well.
For jobs. I mean, because it's legal. I mean, I think maybe if the company decides, hey, we would prefer that you don't. But I mean, I don't think it should be mandatory that you have to get drug tested for weed.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't. If it's not,
because weed, it doesn't. I mean, depending on what you're doing, it doesn't make you hurt people. Like you're not really making like crazy mistakes on it,
No. And I guess if you show up super high to work, you're probably in trouble.
Yeah,
that's the
like
same.
Don't do that. But on the weekends, whatever you do in your own time, like fuck off. I don't care. Like that's how it should be.
It's the same. Like you wouldn't go to work super drunk, hopefully, but you might go hungover. That's on you at that point. So who cares?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. No, at the federal level, it's being put up. As be taken off the controlled substance. Yeah, I did hear about that.
Okay, that's what he was talking about.
It's just it's taking forever.
Yeah, Richard, I agree. Jobs would be so much more enjoyable if they had special smoke breaks. I think people would be so much fucking nicer to each other too.
Yeah, then you fall into the whole Brave New World territory where they had this gas they would just pump and make everyone really just lethargic.
Dude.
I think it was called Soma in the book. And it was basically these pills you would take and you just relaxed. Like no more worries. It was like a very powerful Xanax, like above and beyond. And everyone was taking it across the world because it was just
crazy. I wasn't allowed to read that book in high school.
Brave New World's fucked up.
I wanted to read it, but my mom wouldn't allow me to. So I had to read Frankenstein instead.
I mean, Frankenstein's good, I guess, but Brave New World teaches more. I mean, what was that? Brave New World. Brave New World is definitely one to check out. That's why I'm not a big fan of this stuff that just sedates everybody. Because then sooner or later, the government's just like, well, you're all sedated now. Because we don't want to deal with your bullshit.
Yeah.
There's no more riots when all of a sudden they just spray gas that makes everybody calm.
And then everyone's like basically almost emotionless.
That's what it was?
Yeah.
The same book, it was, there was no marriage anymore. Everyone just kind of slept around and like you would set up times with each other. and then
That's
that was
weird.
considered normal because it's like, well, everyone's happy, why not? And being attached was not allowed. Basically, it wasn't like illegal, but it was frowned upon society wise. And that's a whole. There's so much more to that book.
I gotta read it.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Because I'm a big girl now. I'm allowed to read books.
Boom. I just don't want to. Weaponized the weed and used on war countries. I mean, maybe it could. They're spraying pot. It kind of was that situation. It was just a very heavy sedative for everybody.
Oh my God. It's so funny when they started like confiscating weed and like burning it in like these incinerators. I'm like, I bet those people were fucking high as shit.
Oh my God.
Because they're just like burn, and you can see in the video all this smoke. Like, dude, these people are fucking high.
They had a very high Taco Bell budget on those jobs. Like poor Charlie, yeah, I would hate for weed and I work in a kitchen because then you realize, oh, the food's not for me, it's for the customer. That would suck.
No.
That would be harsh. You'd have to have one chicken sandwich for them, one chicken sandwich for you, one ice cream sandwich for them, one ice cream sandwich. It's like, oh, why did I put ice cream inside of this hamburger bun? That's not good.
I like to dip my French fries in the milkshakes.
That's how you do it. That's Wendy's taught me that. Good for them.
Wendy's for sure.
That's the one.
Those Frosties, those chocolate Frosties.
I remember
the best.
I remember when I saw a very pretty girl at my school do that for the first time, and it made me feel less weird because I was like, I didn't know anyone else did it. And then all of a sudden,
that's cool.
Mary Beth dips her French fries in her shake. Like,
her name was not Mary Beth.
Mary Beth Mazurk.
No.
Yep. What do you call it?
Was she white?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Something, yeah.
That makes sense.
What do you call it? Fries and Frosty. See, yeah, Cody knows what's up.
Yeah.
I just worked a day on a film where the two lead girls were, according to the script, were on a bad weed trip. I think that's still possible. So if it makes you extremely anxious or sick, because anything can do that to you if your situation. If your constitution's messed up, like the wrong meal would make you sick. Mm-hmm. You know, it could be, anything could make you have a bad.
I knew a guy who was allergic to it. He couldn't smoke it because he'd break out in hives.
Huh.
Yeah.
That would suck.
Yeah. So weird.
I
mean, some people, it's just a plant, just like it could irritate somebody else's, like fragrances. It could irritate someone else's nose.
Yeah.
And be fine for someone else. Like,
truly.
Kind of like that.
Yeah. There's no one size fits all thing out there.
Yeah.
I mean, just because it helps somebody do one thing, it's not gonna help another person do that. Joe Rogan's carnivore diet, it's not gonna be good for this dude who's been vegan for 12 years or something. It's just things are different.
Man. Imagine those carnivore poops.
I've done it before where I just ate meat for like 2 weeks and I was okay. It did not hurt. Random as heck, but if everyone knows opiates are from opium, where do they get all the other ones that they can't we can't know about? I would love to know what they put into my Xanax. I don't know. I honestly don't
I'm sure you could look it up. I don't think it's legal for them to not tell you what's in it.
Well, they have proprietary blends on that kind of stuff because there was a lot of companies stealing formulas to pills, and then they would sell them themselves. It's like, well, we worked so hard researching this. Why are you just like stealing our stuff? And I think a lot of them actually are blocked from like.
That's so crazy. They should be forced to tell you what's in it.
I would assume at least somebody should know.
Somebody should know.
Somebody should have some information.
Somebody should tell me. Well, I mean, I don't take medication, but if I needed to, I would want to know what the fuck's in it.
Absolutely want to know what's in it, yeah.
Like, I mean, they give you ingredients and shit in your food.
Yeah.
Why not medication? It's still ingesting it.
That's very true.
You know?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
True. If I look it up, it adds up to some kind of strange algebra. It makes it so crazy. Yeah,
probably just the chemical. So you'd have to go to like the periodic table or some shit.
Yeah, even if they tell you like what's in it, they make it specifically confusing, so you're not gonna know what's in it. So it's like, oh yeah, here's all the ingredients. Fucking figure it out. I dare you.
Oh, or it's like TikTok videos where they give you, like, they show you how they make the food, but they don't tell you how much they put in it.
I hate that.
I hate that shit. I'm like, I'm trying to make this, bitch. What are you doing to me?
Just add some measurements. You can put text on screen.
I know. It's
Jerks.
rude.
But I guess we're not good enough for that.
It's rude.
Or I hate. Oh, this is way off. I hate when they have like cooking videos or articles and they don't get to the recipe like the very end.
Oh my God, on Pinterest, it's the fucking worst. I'd rather just look up a YouTube video because I can skip their little intro.
Yeah.
And then I can just get straight to the recipe. I know we're talking about recipe. See, this is stoner brain.
It works. It works. If that was the case, I'd probably just grow my own Valium in the garden. Yeah, if it works, there's always a natural solution to most problems.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes a chemical process is needed because there's a chemical imbalance. So it's a catch-22.
You know what's crazy? I don't know if this is true, but I heard that the weeds that grow around your house, because as most of us are learning now, weeds are not weeds. They're actually, like, most of them have medicinal purposes. Yeah.
No different. Yeah.
If something starts growing around your house more often, or say for like a shit ton of like dandelions or whatever growing around your house, that usually means that your body is lacking something and the ground is trying to provide it for you.
No, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, I don't know if that's true, but
think about
like everything's biological.
And
we all send signals in some way to each other and the ground and plants and all the shit.
Yeah, your presence in a certain area will affect that area over time. Like it just happens.
Yeah.
Like if you go to, how would be a good place? You go to Florida, and certain plants grow better there than they would grow in Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
Those plants in there are designed to help keep the rest of the ecosystem alive.
Right.
So if you're part of the ecosystem around your house, you've been there for 5-10 years, it would only make sense that you've now built into it. I'm not saying like it's gonna like pop up like perfect, everything you need, but it will lend itself to like, if I can make this thing survive, I survive.
Right.
And it keeps the cycle going.
I wonder if that's how wheat sprung up. It's because they needed it for something. They
think
needed like an alternative to whatever plants they were using for certain medications. Maybe they needed it for their in here.
Yeah, I think that's exactly why like tobacco plants grew in the areas they did, because they needed a way to stave off the insects in the area, and they also needed a way to make them come to the plant, which is nicotine's addictive to everything.
Yeah.
So more insects.
Fucking evolution, baby.
It works. It usually works. I mean, unless you're like a platypus or something, then you're fucked. But there's something to it.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Well, shit.
Cool. Well, that brings us to our hour. But obviously, we have more topics now. Fucking prison system, Nickelodeon.
See, this kind of shit happens when we're in person, when we're together.
Yeah.
This is. I'm happy.
It's 100% true, though. Yeah, it really is. And even when we have to go off the phone randomly, it still works. It 100% works. Back in my day, the pot sprung roots from the floor.
Oh my God! Did you drop a seed?
That would be kind of cool.
Like you drop a seed in your house and then just like, oh, that means you don't clean your carpets though. If plants start growing in here.
Or do you really fucking need them? Like, if the guy's just sitting there, like, they need to calm the fuck down. So let's just put this out there. Or I guess Colombia, really needed to speed shit up. Because cocaine, boom.
Yeah. Yeah, most of the rainforest, I heard, was actually built. Like, the indigenous tribes planted all of those plants the way they are because that ecosystem worked for them. Again, I don't know if that's true, but yeah, I think the rainforest is like man-made by ancient indigenous tribes.
And then we just tore it down. That's good.
Yay us.
Right. Excellent work, everybody. Oh, man. All right. On that downer note, let's wrap this up. We'll see you guys next Thursday. We'll be back again Tuesday, too, for Arizona. Apologize. That was my fault. We weren't on. I was unbelievably terribly feeling that day. It was horrible. But
okay.
I'm better now. So we'll see you Tuesday and Thursday.
All right. Bye, goose.
Bye.